to Simple Conversations with ASG.
That's always the key to evolving and getting better.
That was the main basis for this topic. Is I feel like with athletes, not just in MMA, but in every sport, the mental aspect that they have to develop is so key. And I feel like people could really take it into their own lives, the little lessons. And the one that sticks out in my mind the most, which was whenever I was writing these questions, just constantly playing in my head, was when Israel Adesanya looked across the cage at his opponent and said, "You're not going to beat me. I'm prepared to die." Like this, the sheer passion and love he had for what he's going to do. Like you could clearly see the guy across from him was more energized, but it was like, it's not going to happen. You know, do you think that maybe that is what stops people going for the dream in their lives? Is they get to a point where it's like, this is do or die, and they're like, don't know if I have it in me. Whereas someone like Izzy looked that straight in the eye and went, this is happening. Whether I'm alive or not at the end of it is a different thing.
Now I have to qualify this. Okay, because I view that will happen with one type of person. Okay, and I got to break down, and I don't mean to generalize, but it's something I've noticed in dealing with people. There's two types of people. Okay, we all wake up and dream. You know, we all dream at night. We all have dreams in our lives. We want to. I want to be. I want to do. Okay, but there's two types of people. Those that wake up, forget their dreams, and those that dedicate themselves to accomplishing it. Okay, so I say you have to break it down, because a person that gives up on their dreams with the least set of discomfort is not the level that Adesanya was at, where he was like, I'm exhausted. I feel like I got nothing left. I don't care. I'm going to die. Okay. Most people never get there. Okay. So in other words, it's the people that do. That's usually what weeds the people that really make it in what they're doing, and the people that fall by the wayside after a while. Most never start. The majority that start give up at some point. But that the guys that make it to almost achieving their goal, okay, those are the guys that get to that mental state that they will not accept anything else. Even a loss. A loss is, okay, there's two ways to view a loss. Okay, now I got to be honest with you. I don't like to lose. Okay, I don't play checkers to lose. Okay, I'm not like, yeah, I let little kids win at games, but it's difficult for me. That's what I'm saying. I like winning. Okay, but you learn to lose, especially if you start to look at the loss as a tool. Okay, the loss is a tool to figure out what you need to get where you're going. Okay, where do I want to go? In other words, let's say you're a guy. I see this with a lot of fighters. Guys fight for a championship, and especially mixed martial arts, because instead of 3 rounds, it's 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll be honest with you. People do not understand. Amateurs go from 3 3-minute rounds to 3 5-minute rounds.
It's a lot new time.
People do not understand. They do not understand what a 5-minute round is like, especially if a round's gone wrong. Like you got clipped, you're on your back, the other guy's on top trying to kill you. Okay, that's a long time. Okay, and in 5 of them. Okay, so a lot of times a guy will go out for his first championship fight and, be overwhelmed, with the magnitude of it, this, that, especially in something like the UFC. Okay, you're the main event, all eyes are on you. It's a big thing. Okay, and then what happens is they get into those championship rounds and they find out they just don't have the conditioning. But what they're doing is they're fighting a guy who does. Okay, so the lessons learned in that fight are either going to break me. In other words, I'm going to my career is slowly going to start to edge back. I've hit my peak. I'm not willing to try. Okay, and then there's the other guy who views that, okay, my conditioning was an issue, this was an issue, that was an issue, I have to work on that. And they dedicating themselves to working on that. Okay, now one other caveat I have to put in there, especially when you're talking athletics. there needs to be a certain base talent level. Okay, what I mean is, it's easy. Like, how do I phrase this? Nowadays with like, everybody's equal. I have I believe in equal opportunity. But from the moment we're born, we're not equal.
No.
I'm going to say this: some guys are smart, some guys are dumb as a brick. Some guys are stud athletes. Some guys can't put one foot in front of the other. Okay, so remember, genetics is a crapshoot. Okay, the day you were born wasn't fair. You weren't born to the richest family in the world, with an IQ of 160 and the greatest athlete that was ever born, and the best looking guy that's going to get every woman he ever meets. Okay, sorry, it didn't happen. Life's not fair. Never was, never will be. Okay, so that's what I try to tell people. That's always the caveat. You need the basic skills. And I always tell people, what a lot of people don't realize is it takes a certain type of intelligence to fight. You have to develop fight IQ. And some people are just not capable of doing that either.